Please welcome Alexandre Jenny for the part 2 of the GoPro talk.
Thank you. Welcome also to Raphael, an engineer from my team that will help me through this presentation. So, second presentation of the day, a topic that is really different. Everybody hears me? Oh, no, that's better, I think. Yeah. Rich VR experiences. So there is several problem, advantages, drawback with that. You all know currently the workflow to be able to get something that is really great. So that means it's now super easy to create a good 360 content. Image that has been here for decades. Stitching nodal ninja head, DSLR, stitching software behind the scene, and you have a good 360 image. You can do gigapixels through robotized head. That works pretty well also. Now with the GoPro, you can create also good, high-quality 360 video content. And this is how we represent the workflow internally: create and edit, view, and share. Nevertheless, the content itself is sometimes nice, but we want more on the content. It's not just a movie, an MP4, or just a JPEG that we want. It's something more rich that tells really a story. And that got us to think about rich VR experiences. What is that? How we build it? How it's made? This is really important. And currently, there are a lot of questioning around that. How can we create rich VR experiences? Something that will look like in our workflow, a box that would be here, view and share. But before going there, I would like to define what I call a rich VR experiences. And let me quote some of them. So, many of the project has been done in this area by the Google team. Really good stuff. You probably saw the Abbey Road. So you are inside this famous place where you can, when the Beatles, for example, recorded their music, you can explore everything. Really a nice experience, a nice story, good editing, good content, good audio. We expect good audio there. Huh? It's a bit the place of the audio on Earth. So great, I like that. Second one is the night walk in Marseille, also done by some agency for Google. Really also a good stuff that was really interesting and it tells a good story. Some other that I just quoted, we like their work, like Nuno Madeira, really doing some amazing work in Spain. So that's one of his projects. Mon Vermont from another big team, Regal 360, you probably know them already. Great stories. And many more. You did all great stories also. So it's just an extract. It's we need to support that. If we go a bit more in detail about these stories, how they have been made. In fact, we see that there are different sources, different technology, different way to code that. And this is quite important. One of the projects, we're using Google Street View engine to be able to post, to use this equirectangular there and add stuff on top of that. Others are using KR panels through Panotour. Panotour is a good tool to be able to create and tell stories. Panotour VR, of course, other people. A new one came, Game Engine, and that's a new trend. Game Engine came from the fact that the high-end HMDs like Oculus and Vive, to be able to really use the power of this type of tool, you need to have currently this type of engine to be able to build on that. Unity, for example, is one of them that is really popularly used in different areas. For example, video are doing all their players using Unity, which is which is great. Nevertheless, if you look at everything, there are a lot of manual involvement done there, a lot of coding, JavaScript coding that is more HTML5 space, CSS, even WebGL, native coding, C++. Who knows about C++ here? Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. OK, we are at 5%. Limited HMD support. That's also something that troubles me a little. If we want to have a good and rich VR experiences, whatever the media, whatever the platform, it has to work pretty well in all the viewing devices, which is really important. So out of that, we were questioning a lot internally. There is one big question here. Should we go more against web technologies, or should we target something new, is the game engine, and make use of them to be able to build richer VR experiences? And we asked us that question. So let's look into that. Game engine. Unity, Unreal, direct native mobile coding. Yeah, there are people that code mobile application, which is really great. You can build really good experiences, but is it really mandatory to expose and to tell a great story around that? That's the question. Game engine, extremely powerful. Definitely, they are top of the league technology. You can really do whatever you want. If you have a big mocap room when you want to capture a live animation of someone that you want to be inside the game, that's possible. This engine allows you that. But do we really need to have mocap, motion capture to be able to tell a story? I'm not sure of that. Huge communities. The game engine communities, there are probably 10 million people knowing how to use this system. This is average. The problem, it's too game-oriented. It's to create a game. Could be nice, but to tell story, do we need the game part? It's dedicated workflows. Also a bit. And definitely the worst one, huge learning curve. That's really, really complicated to get to have a first project done with that. Let's look now to the web technologies. HTML5, CSS, WebGL, Carpano, open source viewer, and more. There are several technologies out there. It's really easy to use because this stuff has been created exactly for what we are doing, creating content, 360 immersive content. It's a web workflow. Web workflow is still super easy. It's not that complicated to get. One stuff that is really important with web, it's natively social. That means you can integrate, if you are in this type of workflow, anything social, comment, sharing, etc. That is part of the media, of the web media. It's social, whereas a game, to get it social, it's really more complicated. But there are drawbacks. Limited HMD support, so that's it's a bit complicated. And still cross-browser compatibilities. We are getting there, but it's not that yet. So what to choose? Good question. Recently, we saw some trends on the web. Not really a long time ago, Google showed HTC Vive running at 90 frames per second in Chrome using WebVR. That is from 3 weeks ago, something like that. Sketchfab, a big website where you can upload 3D, are now compatible with WebVR. I just let you, if you want to have the link. Mozilla bring WebVR close to reality. This is something really great also, InfoWorld. Mozilla launched A-Frame, a VR-capable website starting with one line of code, aframe.io. Really a good site. You should look at that. Last but not least, yesterday, WebVR for Android. So that's the roadmap of Google. October 2016, in Chrome 54, you will have WebVR inside Android. So our analysis was pretty clear. We have to go with web technology for our rich VR experiences, which is good. You don't need to care about game engine. I hope. And our answer is Ken. So I'll let you meet Ken with a warning. That's not approved by Mattel at all. Okay? So who's Ken? Ken is in fact a code name. Ken stands for Colorize Next. And that's our internal code name since a year. A modern engine for VR experiences based on HTML5 WebGL. It's not only a VR engine, it's a framework for authoring VR content. It works on desktop. It works on mobile. And it's time for a demo. OK. But first, let's plug the sound, because there is no good VR experiences without sound. Oui, je vais te régler ça. C'est bon. To better explain what we call a good VR experiences, rich VR experiences, we decided, let's do really a content. Capture something and show it to you. Show it through the Ken technology. So this is an experience. We call it Room, because it has to be really, extreme GoPro spirit based. It's a cartoon context. Bilingual, English, French, because that's really important. It has to be, when you think about a framework, internationalization should be a base. So what language do you prefer? I would say French, because it's the first time I could do that in French with some French-speaking audience. But let's do English. I'm fine with that. Russian. We will do that later. So we are here in the race. You can pick up 2 pilots. So 2 beautiful pilots. One is here, one is at home. So you can decide it, either Martin or Sami. One note, this is really web. We are in the web. And if you look on the background, it's a 360 with parallax, with text. So who prefers Sam's? Sami? Where's your hand? OK, it's Martin then. You won. So let's click on Martin. And here we are in the race. So the race is a 360 video. So I'm really inside a 360 video. You can just turn around and see from any position. And everything is interactive. First notice about that, it's everything is in sync, which is really important. You have 360 videos. You have the headshots also coming from other GoPros. Automatically, it's synchronized with telemetries. Telemetry is coming from Google Maps here. This is the ways. So each time one of those just go in front place, the top level is being changed. Automatic. You don't need to do that. Second part here, you have telemetry integrated. So the top one is hertz bit that come really from measurement on the body. The other one is the speed that come from GPS data, and everything is integrated. If we click on the map, by clicking on the map, it just resynchronizes everything. It's like going to another point of the what you in fact expected. It's easy. Clicking on the map, change the time on all videos. Let's continue to explore everything. On the menu, you have different options. We can cut the video. We can remove the different options that are everywhere. What you expect from an experience? It's just web. So as soon as you are on web, you can really enable this type of stuff. We have integrated into that experience is also an authored 360. Here we have a 360 video, so you can change your point of view at any moment. But if you click on the authored, that means that's a 2D video that is still in sync with all the 360, all within your browser. The output of that 2D video has been done through the GoPro VR reframe, the NLA plugin for Premiere, to create a 2D edit out of the 360. How do you like it? This is the type of experience we want. We want you to have a framework that allows you to reach this type of quality or even beyond. Honestly, we are engineers. We ask our UX designer to come up with a good experiences. This is what we came up in only 2 weeks. 2 weeks including the capture, the shooting, the editing, and the post-processing, and coding also, of course. So I think it's a good result already. I think we didn't click on the, you can switch. If you click just on the top, you switch from all the 2 viewpoints of the 360, which is really, really nice. What I really also like, if you look at the head of the guy, and when he turns the head, you really see the synchronization between the several videos around all the content there. So let's go back to the presentation. So Ken is really that. And we had some a spirit about the design goal. What should be the best framework for you? It has to match 3 aspects. At least this is what we believe. It has to be developer friendly. That's really important. You need to understand easily what it does, not something that is really complicated. So it has to be able to get also to the level of what we want. It has to be a slight game spirit. Engine spirit, and that's important because the game, they bring so much to storytelling. So if we match a little the spirit of how they do that, it's really, we should be able to match their goal better than with current technology. Easy to understand, it's normal. Modern web, honestly, Flash, everybody should drop Flash. That's even Adobe drops it, so. HTML5, JavaScript, this is the new standard. By far, you just need to that, nothing else. And for the 3D part, because a lot of stuff will be 3D, meaning really 3D, polygons, texture, and stuff like that. The tool right now there is 3GS. If you don't know that tool, just go to the website and check it. The demo there are really amazing, and it works really well on mobile and on desktop on a modern website. So this is our design goal with Ken in the middle. How does it work? In fact, you are quite used to already work like that. You have resources on one side, several resources, so spherical image, spherical video, SFX, images, GIF, 3D images, metadata tracks, text, PDF, whatever. It's the web. The web is fairly complex. It has several content. This is the left. On the middle, you have something that describes the experiences. With Pano, for example, we have an XML. With Pano 2VR, we also have an XML. With the experiences done by Google, it's more directly JavaScript. We just choose this type of stuff. We call it a JSON, which is just an XML in another format. It just is, it describes everything, the send, the group, the hotspot, the audio playlist, the internalization, plugins and their configurations, event on timeline, everything. You have the JSON. And then at the end, you have colorize next. Ken, that is the viewer. That is the interpreter for that experiences that does really everything. It takes the JSON, load the resources when needed, display it, and create the experiences. That's exactly what has been done in the room. It's better this way. Room demo. It manages, of course, event, interaction, whatever. If we go a bit more in depth, this is how it looks like, and this is what is able. WebGL rendering in a canvas with the 3D user interface, 3D object, the spherical media projection, the Z-index, and then the 2D graphic in the DOM. I'm pretty sure I lost half the room with that slide, but it's interesting because if you get that, you'll see how the system can be really powerful in a lot of areas. And I will now have some technical demo done by Raphael, one of my developers on that project.
Hello everyone. So my name is Raphael. I've been working for Colors and now GoPro for almost 4 years. I started by coding Pano plugins for Pano Tour Pro. Then I jumped to another project, the first generation of colorized web players that is currently in production on vr.gopro.com. I worked a lot with Pano, so I know what I expect from a VR engine, and I know what the pain points are. I will show you some. Let me zoom in. So we are pretty close to the Pano philosophy, but we are working with a JSON file. I will not dig into too much technical stuff because you're photographers, but I make the link between our philosophy and the stuff what you already know. For example, this file declares everything that is in my tour. So you have names, the tour names, all that related to languages. So you have the English languages here, French languages. You have all the playlists that are defined here. So you can set different playlists and say, okay, I want this playlist on this scene, and for this scene I want another playlist. And then you have all all related stuff about scenes just here. For example, let's just add the Italian language. I already have the assets ready for the Italian language. So I just save my file. I will reload my tour. And I have to empty my cache, I guess. And that's it. You have the Italian language. Forza. I don't speak Italian too much. So that's for the language. I think it's very important to incorporate stuff about the internationalization. That's a pretty tough word. And because your audience is worldwide, so we have to remove the pain points of internationalization. Let me show other stuff. For example, okay. Alexander told you about 3D objects. You saw Martin and Sami that were integrated in 3D hotspot in the scene. That's because we are based on a 3GS framework. That's a JavaScript framework to make 3D on the web. And I will add bubbles, 3D bubbles to a scene just to show you it's kind of a 3D stress test. So I move back to my tour, empty the cache. So now in the scene, you can see we have bubbles, 3D bubbles. There are spheres with a lot of polygons, and actually the bubbles reflect the environments that we call environmental map in game engine language. So you can add 3D objects. The objects can interact with the scene, and it works pretty well. I still get a good frame rate. I still have a good frame rate. I'll just mute the sound. And for this scene, actually, those guys were filmed, you know, in cinema for special effect. We filmed some actor with a green screen behind them, and then we integrate them in the scene. And that's what happened here. Let me show you something. I have to find where it is. Okay, let's try with Martin. I have a parameter for authoring the chroma key video. We call that a chroma key video. That's a technical terms, video with green background. So I put the parameter to true, reload the tour. So we have Martin here, and I can directly adjust the value of chroma key here to test and have the best integration possible. So you can fine-tune things directly on the scene, show the amount of threshold of smoothness you want to have to display your guy, and then just save the parameters and write them directly in your file here. So that's a plugin actually, the chroma key. I worked a lot on Colorized Next architecture, so I thought about the easiest way to add features over an engine core. So I told my colleague, my engineer, can you make me a plugins for integrate Chroma key stuff in the tool, and actually he find the workflow very easy, and that's why we succeed to make this tool in only 2 weeks. It's a plugin over the core, but I think we will release all our R&D stuff like this one, actually. Sorry? It's supported on many browsers, yes. We test it on Chrome, Safari, Edge, the new Microsoft browser, Firefox. Yeah. Sorry? That's okay, that's okay. I love challenges. I just closed this one because it needs a lot of resources. Okay. So the only issues I will have in Safari in this tour, it's in Safari 4K videos don't work very well. Oh, sorry. Yeah. My mistake. Where is Safari? I never use this browser. How many Safari users? Okay. Another thing, I will open this in Safari, but colorize next, manage the browser history. So yeah, I can directly copy and paste the URL, and I arrived on the right scene. So 3D bubbles are here. We have the Chroma key editor still there. Just works fine. Are you satisfied? Sorry? Green light? That's because I play with the Chroma key editor. I will remove this for you if you want to. I will turn authoring to false, and then I will have my good settings. Where is Safari? Yeah, empty the cache. Then reload. So the editor is gone, and no more green lines. Maybe I can try to set another playlist for the race. So I will quit Safari. Get back to Google Chrome. Okay, so the playlist. Let's see the playlist. Oh. So my playlists are defined here. Playlist 0 is the one that is used on the pilot selection scene, and playlist 1 have 3 tracks, and it's used for the race. And I have playlist 2 that another playlist. I will switch. I will just rename playlist 2 into playlist 1. Just switch the names. Because my scenes, just show you my scenes. So you have a scene that describes the media you will watch, and the 360 media and describe all the plugins that will be active enabled on this special scene. And we have also, this one has no sound. See, the second scene use place 0 and the other scene, sorry, are using playlist 1. So I just switched the names. Go back to Chrome, empty the cache, I'm not a Mac user, so I'm the Linux guy. Okay. Go through the scenes. I have to. There's still the bubbles because I laid them in place. So same music for this scene, but when you choose, let's choose Sammy this time. And you have another playlist. Sorry? I like Sam? Yes. Sammy is a friend of mine, and I used to be his teacher in university. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Raphael. You did awesome. He was really scary to come on stage, but he did really great. Oh, good question. Let's go back to the presentation. You are going too fast, my friend. So, I had to put sexy because in any of my presentations, sexy is a needed word. If it's not sexy, it doesn't work, the effort. So, sexy, yeah. What it is, it's much more than just a viewer. You saw what it is possible. It just doesn't wrap 360 content together. It's a framework built on modern technology that allows you to create this type of experiences. So, modularity, developer-friendly, internationalization, which is a key common problem for a lot of these experiences. They are really building really from scratch at the beginning as a design goal. So that's really our goal. A web-based engine built on standard technology that run on every modern browser to unleash creativity for you, because you create the content. You can add a new arc to your arrow, a new arrow to your arc. You can also provide the full experiences. And that's something that nonetheless, it's really, really good. I saw many people that were first users of Photopano that were providing their services for other people to capture spherical. Now, quite all of these photographers are also Panotour users, so they can provide the full, what they call the virtual tour. I don't like anymore the tour part, because tour, it's too reducing to real estate. We are in a bigger space. We are in the web documentary. We are in the storytelling right now space. Not anymore just tour that is too real estate oriented. And this is really what we want as a goal. That's the availability, QCAT. QCAT, oh, I can say it in French. No, Q4. Q4. I should have done that in French, come on. But there is one more point. Anything on web, at some level, needs to be community-driven. because it's all the technology that are so great there are technology that have been embraced by the community. So we have two other goals for that technology. It has to be free, and it has to be open source. And this is what we want with Ken. Free and open source, anybody can use it, modify it, build new stuff into the engine. We want the best open source, community-driven tool for VR content. This is the goal that we want with Ken. That's it. That's Ken. Free. Probably something under MIT. We are figuring that out, something that is, you don't care. We don't care. We want that. We want you to use that. We want you to build the best player experiences. It's about storytelling. What we sell is not technology, it's storytelling. You should not be limited.
Do you plan on inverting the mouse control on the web player to where it's not just a push or pull?
Oh my God. Yeah, this is a huge, go back to the slide, please. This is a common question, QTVR mode versus Dragon. It's open, do what you want. People are more used in one way, other people are more used to the other way. There have been so heated thread on the Panoramic photographer group on Facebook. I want that one, I prefer that one, the other one, I prefer that. I think we are 50-50. If I ask the question here, we should split in two groups. So, but do whatever. Side by side, yes, definitely everything about web VR, so HMD friendly, yes, it's HMD friendly. That's important.
Will this work with the images only?
No, image, video, you saw that was video. So everything should be there. We won't solve all what the big manufacturer out there, like Apple on iOS, they still have problem to be able to play in a good way 360 videos through the web. They are getting there. Google did it, they will do it also. Allow it without tricks that just drops the frame rate a lot. So it's going there for sure.
And like as a developer, can I have like a preview before like the release? Like,
How the big question of the beta before.
actually, I'm working on a product that I think this would be nice, and if we can sync our products, we could launch at the same time.
Oh, perfect. For this type of demand, just wrote to me directly. We'll see how we can do that in an early access manner, so no problem. Okay. We want that to be open. It's not completely finished right now, so that's why it's only a preview. We won't open the website now. We want that the website comes with really a lot of demonstration. You just see how you just need to modify some line in the JSON file so you can create this type of experiences. There are some workflow tool also, command line tool to be able to convert if you need conversion of MP4 and stuff like that. So we are building all this stuff, and as soon as we have something that seems finished enough, we'll open.
And are you planning to add a GUI interface?
The GUI interface, let's face it, it's probably Panotour 3.
I saw 3D meshes. Can you explain what you have in mind with that?
Who asked? Can you raise the hand? Okay, 3D meshes, and in fact, WebGL, just look at the website. 3D meshes are really meshes that you create with a standard 3D tool, Maya, 3D Studio Max, SketchUp, whatever. Out of that, you can create something that is really 3D, that you can animate, even if you want. That is easily loadable directly into the tool, so you can have a 3D hotspot, textures, put a CG computer girls running around, whatever. It's really, this is the new opportunity, because it's based on new engine that are really 3D based and everything like that, and modern web page. You have a lot of new options that didn't exist before.
One more question from the internet. Juha Kela from Finland. He's asking.
Hi, Juha.
He's asking if the CAN supports live Hls streaming.
Yes, we tried the HTML5 player with live streaming. Yeah, it's not HLS. On the modern web, you have to be on MPEG Dash. It works also on the mobile, yes, I know, but probably not on desktop.
Question, how do you handle synchronization between videos? Is it like one multi-stream video or like several files? Like is multi-stream video supported on a web on other browsers?
Yeah, I will answer that in two ways. First, the technical will be answered by Raphael. The other one, synchronization. There is a lot of development that has been done by GoPro on the GoPro themselves, on the MP4, to be able to get inside the MP4 a lot of metadata directly. So heartbeat, telemetry, GPS can already be within the MP4 that really gets you a perfect synchronization out, because that's how it works. We announced at GoPro what we call the GoPro Developer Program that allows external manufacturer of sensor, GPS and stuff to be able to create devices. You just buy a GoPro on these devices and automatically it embeds into the MP4 the telemetries. So that synchronization is now solved by you only have one file. Through the web, to be able to show it, you need to have the MP4, extract that into the MP4 without the data, and a JSON that is the extracted data, because this metadata currently doesn't go through the web directly. You cannot broadcast telemetry at the same time. So we extract that in a JSON, and then it's synchronized into the player. That's right, okay.
Can you tell me a little bit about the distribution end of it in terms of the assets and the videos? Is that something that's self-hosted? Does GoPro host that? How do you see that working?
No, we don't have a plan to host this type of experience right now. It's really up to you to have your own website. And I think it's mandatory because everybody is having his own business model, and you have your own website currently where you want to showcase your own stuff. And if you work for somebody else, a major movie industry, they have their own hosting. They want it on their website. So providing you the hosting, it's not really our job for rich VR experiences.
Alexandre, how do we get prepared for this? Is it useful started learning 3.js or how could we start maybe?
It's a really good question. We didn't thought about this one. Yeah, definitely have a look at 3.js. Have a look of what JSON means, HTML5 means, CSS means. They are just pretty standard. Perhaps we will prepare some documentation. What could be a quick starter preparation for Ken, and we'll get you some links. We can prepare that and post it on our website or on IVRPA, and that could be a good first start. So you can train yourself until we are ready to launch it.
Okay, thank you very much for that.